What is going on, everybody? It is a Thursday lunchtime. It is time for lunch with the Clydesdale. We're here. We're going to get the dart throw out of the way. All right, here we go. Oh, my goodness. Not even close. Not even close. Here, oh, man. I keep messing this up. Here we go. I don't know if you can see it's off to the side. Not even on the dartboard. Not a great move today. Someday I'll figure it out. It's really tough from a seated position. It's just really, really hard. I know Dave used the same excuse, but man. And then I have to, because of the angle I'm at going at about a 45-degree angle, and I've got to go up over the mic, and it's just, I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point. I swear to God, I swear I'm a good dart thrower. Man, all those years of bouncing and bartending, I got really, really good, and I'm totally shitting the bed here, doing it from a seated position. Anyway, I was just getting on. I was just trying to figure out some stuff. It's a slow day, and I pull up Instagram because I always just want to have it ready when I do the show, and up pops this thing about Alex Gazan from the barbell spin, and maybe she took a gummy that may be a banned substance at the World Fitness Project to help her sleep while she was there. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. If you can prove to me that THC is actually a performance enhancer, because everybody I've ever known that has smoked weed or taken a gummy, the last thing they want to do is get up and work out. And I think it's over the top. I think marijuana is legal in so many states now. It's been shown to have so many recovery benefits for athletes, but it doesn't enhance your performance in any way. There was just this stigma with it that it was like an illegal narcotic, which it's not anymore. We're not talking about heroin or cocaine or meth or any of these other types of drugs. I mean, it's just freaking marijuana, dude. If she take a little bit of a gummy, are you freaking kidding me? I think we have bigger fish to fry than whether someone uses a little THC here and there to let themselves get some sleep. Just my thought. Denise said, I thought she said it was mostly CBD. Well, whether it's mostly CBD, she did say it had some THC in it. So whether it's a little bit or I don't even care if it's a lot. Like, when was the last person you saw take a gummy or smoke some weed and they're like, okay, let's get it on. Let's go bench press. Let's go get some pull-ups in. No, man. Usually it's like, I'm done, man. I'm toast for the day. Like, it is over. So it helped her sleep a little bit. I find it's just a big old pile of nothing. But if it's on their banned list and it's a rule, I guess we got to figure that out too. But it just seems like a waste of time for something that just doesn't even seem that big of a deal to me. And maybe I'm wrong. Like, I'm 55. I'm not like young, but like I don't see anything to this at all. Yeah. I'm concerned about performance enhancing drugs in the sport, not necessarily marijuana or THC. Right, Denise. like most of my buddies that have taken THC are asking me where the Doritos are. And that does not help your performance at an event. So I don't know. I think a rain or a C4 helps your performance better than THC. So there it is. J Birch, squeaky wheels. There you go. And I'm probably biased in this manner because I love Alex. I think she's awesome. You know, we've done a lot of features with her. I love my guy Justin. I just love that team. I like Jake. Jake worked for us at the games 2 years ago. Um, so I might have a bias there, but I think even if someone that I was not a fan of was taking THC, I would not think twice of it. A lot of the pro sports have removed THC as a banned substance from their list now that it is legal in most states. I know the NBA has removed it. I think the NFL has removed it. So I just don't get why it would even be on a banned substance list. But there it is. I've not done much research into this at all. I literally just pulled it up to have some Instagram ready in case I needed to dive into that while we were on the air. And I saw it, and so I thought I would start with that. So, what do I want to do next? So I'm gonna share my screen. I don't always do this, but I do think that what was said. So Sunday night after our show, Savon went live with a ultra marathoner, and after that person left the air, he made a comment about our Sunday night show, and I wanted to play it because it's not often you get this type of compliment, and so I wanted to share it because I echo his sentiments so much, and I just wanted to share that real quick. So this is from the Sevon podcast on Sunday night, and I'm going to go ahead. Shoot.
Then I worked out again, and when I worked out, I watched Clydesdale podcast with Scott Schweitzer and I want to keep calling her Courtney Love, Carolyn Prevost, and Jamie Latimer, which I'm going to tell you, he finally found it. After 35 years of podcasting, Scott Schweitzer has found his team. That's the team. I don't know how he did it, but that's good. It's Jamie and Miss Prevost and him. They're the shit. They're so good. Yeah, they're good. I'm watching, waiting for the day for Prevost to kind of crack, right? Get a little snappy, but it's cool. It's really, I really enjoy the three of them. Then I worked out.
So that was on Sunday night's Savon podcast, and I have to agree with them. Like, to find people that chip in and to participate with you as much as they do, to get into the arguments that I want to, and to not be afraid to like challenge each other on their opinions, but do it in a respectful way. This is the team that I have envisioned my whole time trying to do this, and I'm so glad that I became friends with Jamie, and that and I became friends with Carolyn, and she agreed to come on. They're just amazing, amazing women. I wanted to have a space where women could give their input as to what's going on in the CrossFit world, that had knowledge about what it's like to be an athlete. And I felt that has been missing in the CrossFit space for a long time. And so glad that I found them, and that we've been doing it with the three of us for about 15 months. And I feel like we're really getting into a groove now, where we debate freely, and I'm just really excited that other people are starting to notice. What I will say is, when he said that I'm waiting for Carolyn to crack, If you've watched us consistently, Carolyn has cracked before on the show. She has lost her mind over things, and I love it when it happens. But it does. It really does happen a lot. And but I know some people are new to the show and have never seen it yet. But when it happens, it's gold. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Some people shared it with me. I was really excited to hear that, because I do feel like I found the right team for that Sunday night show, and I'm so excited that I have, and that's happened. So, well, thank you very much, Denise. You three are very fun to watch. Yeah, and like I told you, like Jamie, from the minute I met her, we were like a brother and sister. We fought all the time on the road when we were out doing semifinals in 2023. We would fight nonstop about different things going on in CrossFit, and that's when I knew that I needed to get her on a show, and I had to like kind of ease into that to get her to come on consistently. But now it's second nature for her. She's really good at it. And then when Carolyn came on, it just gave us even another perspective. And she's such a CrossFit nerd. She knows everything that's going on. And as Kenneth said, it is the original Sunday Night CrossFit Talk, the original. So yeah, so I'm going to throw a couple topics out to you guys. I'm curious to know what you think about this. So if you have not been under a rock, you have seen that the CrossFit Games have slashed CrossFit game ticket prices by 40% in what they're calling a flash sale for Memorial Day. In years past, the CrossFit Games have sold out, and this stuff was never an opportunity because the tickets had sold out so fast. There were not tickets to slash and to give it at these deep discounts. What does it mean for this season when your championship match, you have to sell at 60% of what you want to get people to buy the tickets? I don't think that's a good sign. Kenneth says like 20% off, right? They are 40% off right now in a flash sale. It's all over Instagram. I will pull that up. Here it is. Flash sale right there. For 48 hours only, the 2025 CrossFit Games at an unbelievable 40% off now through Friday, May 23rd at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, and Halpin's right there is a lot of meta ads out there about it right now. But yeah, this one is directly from the CrossFit Games Instagram page. This is the flash sale. It's for 48 hours only, and it is until 12 p.m. tonight. So, or it's 12 p.m. noon. 12 p.m. is noon, right? So it would be till 3 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon. They're on sale for 40% off. I did go to the ticketing software to buy. Do they have a link here? Let me see if they have a link in their bio. I went to buy, and I looked at the map. It's going to take me to another page, so I've got to stop sharing, and I'll bring it back up here. Okay, so this doesn't show the map because it's just the flash sale. And it looks like the flash sale. Okay, I'll show this to you so you guys can see. So it looks like the flash sale is only one half of the arena. So in the blue is what's for sale on the 40% off. And then the gray is the finish line. So anything around the finish line is not for sale. Anything on the other side of the stadium is going to be at 40% off. So that is, and Halpin is saying 12 p.m. tomorrow it ends. Okay, in the narrative it says Friday, so I don't know. Maybe they've extended it a little bit. Tomorrow's Friday. Today is not Friday. Oh man, I need some more sleep. So yeah, so that is what the 40% off sale was. I did go yesterday, I think it was, out to the website. I tried to get, they have a map that actually show you can actually pick the seats. And when it's not 40% off, and it actually would show you, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So you can see how many seats are left. And I was able to get that now. Okay, so let's blow this up. So you can see how many seats are left to purchase. Every blue dot is a seat for sale. So there are seats in really good places, like down low, that are still available. Lots in the lower bowl. It looks like the upper bowl is sold way more than the lower bowl. Must be price. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. And there we go. And then on this one side, there's a ton. So at the bottom of the screen, a ton of the lower bowl seats are available. I just think it's a bad look, man. I don't think they anticipated such a decrease in demand this year. And I don't know what to attribute it to, whether it was the Lazar Jukic tragedy from last year, whether it was the competition, whether it's the impending sale and who knows what's going to happen, whether it's the season doesn't make any sense this year and the excitement just isn't there building as we move through the season. I don't know, or maybe it's the location. They seem to do better when the location is in the middle of the United States, where more people can get there at a more reasonable effort and cost than to try to put it on one side of the country and forcing people to go cross country to get to it, regardless of which side you pick, whether it be the West Coast or the East Coast. We are pretty far East Coast this year. And so is it that the West Coast people are like, that's too far of a flight for me to get on to go all the way to New York to do that. But when they were in Fort Worth and they were in Madison, it was in the central part of the country. It was a lot easier to get halfway across the country than the whole way. More people could drive. So I don't know. Halpin says also in outside influences, way lower tourism from international countries this year. That is correct. With everything going on politically there, that is going to be, that's going to be impacted as well. But just really shocked they had to go to 40% off. Aaron Fraser, if you fly, what is the difference between the two? Well, for me, every time I fly West Coast, it's just more expensive. It's really hard to get a cheap flight from Ohio to California for events. But, and I'll tell you, this year has been really, really difficult for me because of everything I've had going on just in my life. Normally, I would go to multiple events in the qualifying event season or semifinal season. And I haven't been to anything this year. I've had my daughter move across the country to Montana, and I had to take that drive with her to do that. And we helped her financially make that move. My wife has had her second knee replacement surgery since January. Those two things have laid her up, and I've had to assist her in many ways during that time. And with all of that, I just haven't been able to get out. And now I kind of put a lot into going to Syndicate Crown, and I'm still planning on going, but I look at the lineup that's there and how diminished the field is, and is it worth me driving to Knoxville, getting a hotel for 3 days, to watch a diminished field at the Syndicate Crown? And I'm a CrossFit nerd. Like, I love going to these events. I love this stuff. And if I'm questioning it, who else is questioning it? I think a lot of people are. Like, is it worth the investment to go see 5 people compete in an event that have a shot at getting the top 2 spots? I mean, last year, if you went to a semifinal event, there were in the East, there were 20 women who had a shot to get the top 11 positions. And the same thing for the men. It was easier to justify going to see that and I could get way more content from who my audience would know who they were. Now I've been following semifinal athletes for years, and there are a lot of those at this event that I know and would love to catch up with and chat with. It's a really crazy year, and we've talked about it a lot. For the first time, CrossFit has competition, and it doesn't seem like they've done anything to this season to make it easier to follow, easier to attend, easier to do anything with. And I feel like things have got to change soon, or we're in a really, really bad place from the CrossFit side. A bit surprised it wasn't offered to affiliate owners initially, or even offered geographically. Offer a deeper discount to New York affiliates. That actually sounds like a pretty good marketing plan. Weird Dave gave a 20% off code Monday for them to do a 40% off yesterday. Yeah, I think they've actually been giving the code out to a lot of people in the media, and a lot of people in, I think, other athletes, and it was a 20% off code. And then to do this at 40% off kind of undercuts all those people you sent it to. But we'll see. Yeah, and this is what Halpin is saying. They also offered athletes a 20% off with a $50 per ticket kickback at the same time. This 40% is occurring. Yeah. But if you have a favorite athlete and you want to use their code and give them a $50 kickback, that's a way to support your favorite athlete. In a way, maybe that means more to you than the 40%. So you do have some options there. The other thing I wanted to throw out there, we haven't talked about yet this week, and that is event 1 was announced. It is a 4-mile run into 3,000-meter row into a 2-mile run. I don't think it's real exciting to get me motivated to want to go to the games. They are offering it as a community event afterwards, where community members can come do the event there, and they're going to keep an overall leaderboard on that throughout the weekend. And you can do it all weekend long while seminar staff people are kind of manning that project for that. So it is, I do like this. I do like when they take one of the games events and make it a community event. But if it's just running and rowing, like, that's not identifiable as like a CrossFit event. The last time they did this, it was a 5K. This year, it's this run, row, run. Why couldn't you have a couple lanes and do one of the other workouts that may appear and allow people to do like like a Metcon, plus 4 mile, 3,000, 4 mile or 2 mile that's a long, long event. That is a commitment of what, an hour of your time to go do that. Honestly, it would be more than an hour for me, but for most people, an hour to take out of your day at the CrossFit Games to go do this event. It's just interesting. It just doesn't seem like something that would entice people other than like Jamie. Jamie would jump at the chance to do this and kill it and try to get her name up on the leaderboard. I just don't see it being that event that attracts a majority of CrossFitters going to the games and wanting to see how they compare against everybody else in the world. I think it'd be cool if you did something like with toes to bar and maybe a sandbag carrier, maybe like things that are more CrossFitty on a little outdoor workout area and let people do it there. I think that would entice more people, but who am I? I'm just a media guy. Jay Birch says might as well do Murph. I think Murph is a better option than this. Murph is a couple 1 mile runs, and at least you get to do some gymnastic stuff with it. This just running and rowing, like are we doing like a High Rocks event? Is that like the plan? It just doesn't. And I'm not dogging High Rocks. Like High Rocks is very successful and they're doing great with what they're doing. It doesn't seem like that enticing event to bring the community together to do something that is CrossFit. It sounds like a cross country meet. I think we should remove unknown and unknowable since the first event of the games is always the same thing. Well, one key element was removed, Tristan, and that was swimming. I wonder why. So we have a weekend where there's really nothing going on in the CrossFit space. Aaron's got the answer. They are trying to tease Tia into doing the games. She's already training for High Rocks. Here's your event, Tia. Come on. It's like a little mousetrap. See if we can get her to commit. Jay Birch, I am with you. That would be a no for me on the long distance. Yeah. But I think Aaron Fraser nailed it, man. It is there. They are trying to lure Tia back for one more season to come to the games. Been training High Rocks. Let's make this the first event. Get Tia to sign up. And then all is right with the world. I personally hope she doesn't come to the games. I think it's more exciting when she doesn't. I thought the 23 games on the female side was so much fun to watch when we didn't know who was going to win. But it does not mean I do not respect her as the greatest CrossFit athlete I've ever seen in my life. She definitely is. But from a spectator point of view, I enjoy it when I don't know who's going to win. And on the men's side, anybody could win this year. Anybody could win out of about 10 guys. And on the women's side, I think it's totally up in the air if Tia doesn't come back. And I think that's what makes it entertaining. This week on Get Up, they actually asked the question, are oh gosh. Are oh my gosh. What are they called? The teams that win a lot. I am having such a brain fart. Anyway, damn it. Dynasties. Are dynasties good for sports? That was the question on Get Up this week. And there were people arguing that that gives you the villain that someone wants to take down, which makes things better. And other people were like, no, I like it when we don't know who's going to win. It's not predetermined. Like in the NFL right now, it's almost like a given that the Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl. Is that good for the sport? And they were arguing that when that happens, then you have the villain of the Chiefs where everybody wants to beat them. And then if you don't have that, then nobody really knows, and it makes it a more exciting season. So those were the two arguments. And I say the same thing with CrossFit. When Matt Frazier and Tia were on their run, it was predetermined that they were going to win. And I felt that it was harder to watch the games that way because really you were just watching to see how big they would win, not if they would win. And I'm ready for a period of time where we don't have that dynasty, where it is totally up for grabs and anybody could win. Aaron says, yes, MJ and the Bulls, Brady and the Patriots were great for sports. I think they are for a limited amount of time. But man, when the run goes way too long, I really get frustrated with it. And that's me personally. Like even in Brady's like 20-year run, there were moments where he did not win. And MJ took 2 years off where it did open up and it wasn't going to be the Bulls. And it wasn't the Bulls during those 2 years. Then he came back and said, nope, I'm still the most dominant player in the world. Won 3 more titles. And then rode off to Washington to totally end his career on a bad note that hopefully most people don't remember. Halpin says, already gave her red carpet with her biggest Torian competition qualified. Tia could take 4th at Torian and qualify. I think she will still take first regardless. Yeah, if she's in the field, she's going to do well. And it's like the Tiger MJ effect where when they're in the field, the intimidation alone makes other people push and press and make mistakes. So it's more than just beating them. It's overcoming the mental thing of that they're going to be great and that forces you to be great as well. And sometimes then you push outside of what your capability is and you make horrible, horrible mistakes. And I think that's what would happen with Tia in Australia and at the Torian, because she hasn't been training CrossFit as much. She's doing more high rocks training, but she's still going to be intimidating. One, she owns the camp that most of those athletes belong to. So it's kind of like she's their boss, and she is who she is, and her reputation will force other people to make mistakes. And Aaron says she's going to Torian to win. I agree. I think she wants to go out on top if she is retiring after this, which she has not clarified after people questioned the word usage she did in her video and in the podcast. But if this is her final hoorah, I think she wants to go out on top. She doesn't want to go out in 4th place. Halpin says, I don't care. I don't see any scenario where she qualifies and doesn't go to the games, regardless of her clickbait videos. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I think that if she qualifies, she will then go do the High Rocks World Championships, and then she will take the next 6 weeks to train for the games and compete at the CrossFit Games. She is trolling retirement again. I think that's what the consensus is in the space is she used such bizarre word salads in her 2 efforts to announce some kind of retirement, but never really said retire. and never really said that she wouldn't be going to the games. So I agree. I think she's trolling us all. Well, I'm going to end on a light note because I didn't know how much we would have, and then a couple things popped off. But I haven't done a top 5 in a while, so I'm going to do top 5, and I'll make it quick. There are times when I get such a craving for cereal, just cereal and milk. I just love it sometimes. And I go and I might not eat a bowl of cereal for 9 months or 10 months. And then all of a sudden, like, that's all I want to eat is cereal. And so I have my top 5 cereals of all time. Take it or leave it. This is what it is. My first cereal is an honorable mention, and it's only because it has one fatal flaw. And my honorable mention is Fruity Pebbles. I love Fruity Pebbles, but the fatal flaw is that it gets soggy in milk way too fast. So you have to play a game where you kind of keep the milk away from it and then just dip it to get the milk when you do it. And so it's a tough game to play, but I love Fruity Pebbles if I can play that game well. My number 5 is Peanut Butter Chex. It's a new one to the game. Growing up, we had wheat Chex and rice Chex and corn Chex. Well, Peanut Butter Chex is freaking awesome. Put peanut butter on cereal and you've got me hooked. Number 4 for me is Frosted Flakes, the good old Tony the Tiger. They're great. If I just want a straight down the fairway, great cereal, Frosted Flakes are a winner. Number 3 for me is Frosted Mini Wheats. They sometimes rough up the roof on my mouth, but I really enjoy. And those ones you have to soak in milk. You got to get them just a little bit away from the crispy side and get it a little bit soggy. So those need to soak a little bit in the milk to get a really good Frosted Mini Wheat. If you leave them too hard, you're going to have like cuts in the roof of your mouth and all that kind of stuff. But it's a good tasting cereal. You just have to play with the milk in a good way. My number 2 cereal is Cinnamon Life. Cinnamon Life is so good. So good. I've loved that since I was a child. It is, my mom would keep Life and Cinnamon Life in the cupboard all the time. That was just a staple in our house growing up. And so Cinnamon Life at number 2. And the number 1 cereal of all time, and I've seen semi references to it, but my favorite cereal of all time is Peanut Butter Crunch. The Captain Crunch, Peanut Butter Crunch, number 1 cereal of all time. It's good, crispy. It's good, soggy. It always holds up, and it is a consistent flavor forever. And since I was a kid, it's the same flavor as it is today. And I'll explain why I say that because of some of the comments in the chat. But number 1, Peanut Butter Crunch. So back to my top 5. Number 5 is Peanut Butter Chex, 4 Frosted Flakes, 3 Frosted Mini Wheats, 2 Cinnamon Life, and number 1 is Peanut Butter Crunch. Now, Train to Live comes in with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That used to be in my top 5, but something changed in the formula of how they make it that it is not as good today as it used to be. And I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did, but it is not as good as it used to be. It has like a film to it now that it didn't ever have in the past. So, Jay Birch, my grandparents ate shredded wheat every night for supper. Yeah, I got to do the frosted shredded wheat or Frosted Mini Wheats. Shredded wheat alone, no. Sorry. Train to Live, Captain Crunch. I do love a good Captain Crunch, but it's not something I can do like consistently. And I did see someone say like, it rips you. It's Meredith. Captain Crunch literally damages the roof of my mouth, but I love it anyways. Yeah, it does. It does rip you up. She also says Frosted Flakes is a classic. Train to Live. The true test of a cereal lover is, do you ever mix cereals? I do. Actually, I love Captain Crunch and Peanut Butter Crunch mixed together. That's really good. And sometimes I do Peanut Butter Crunch and Cinnamon Life. That's a good one mixed together. That's number 1 and number 2 on my list. Mixed together makes a good cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, probably less chemicals. Yeah, probably less now. You get the film that you didn't used to get back in the day. Jay Birch, mini hay bales is what I called mini wheats. Yeah, that's a good That's a good call. Still a good cereal. Especially, yeah. If you get the ones that aren't frosted, it is totally hay bales. Yeah. Train to Live, yes, the mixing. I also hate to admit I like Raisin Bran. I like Raisin Bran too. I just have to be in the mood for it. It's like raisins. There are days I could eat a box of raisins, no problem at all. And other days, it just doesn't sound good. But I have to be in the right mood for it. But I like a good Raisin Bran, of course. It's so funny when Seinfeld first came out and all Jerry had in his kitchen was cereal. I was like, man, that's the life I want to live right there, man. Be an adult and just to eat cereal all the time. And again, I don't do it very often, but I get these cravings where I just have to have some cereal. And I just do it occasionally. So I thought I'd throw that out there, see if there's any feedback. Usually when you talk about things like this or candy bars or stuff like that, people are very adamant about what their favorites are. My wife is a Special K nut. She gets it with the berries, Special K with strawberries or Special K with whatever. And she'll eat that all the time. I think the flake is weird in Special K. It's like puffy or something, and I don't know. I have a hard time with that one. But anyway, that's really all I have today. We hit the hot topics. We hit some cereal stuff and had a little fun at the end. But again, no events this weekend. The only thing really going on is the United Grid League. If you're a fan of John Young or Kelsey Keel or Griffin Rowley, they're all competing this weekend in Miami. And they're going to show their stuff on United Grid League channel. That will be on Saturday. And the matches just happen. One match goes, it ends, the next match starts, and all 8 teams are in like one place to do that. So that's going on this weekend. And other than that, it's a dead weekend. And then we hit 4 qualifying events the weekend after that, which includes Syndicate Crown, and Torian, and all of that. Andrew Sten, we have the Indy 500 and the Monaco F1 race is way better to watch. Barry McCockiner, yes, we did talk about Gazan right off the top, which I hope is just a big old nothing because I don't know. Most pro sports have removed cannabis and cannabinoids or whatever they call that off of their banned substance list. I think it's silly that it's still on the list for here. It's not a performance enhancing drug. So we talked about it off the top. I'm hoping it's a big nothing. With that, I think that's it, guys. I guess I got to get back to work. I got 1 minute to get back to work. Got to run up the stairs. So time for you knuckleheads to get back to work as well. We will see everybody tomorrow on lunch with Clydesdale. Bye, guys.